And welcome back inside our KDKA-TV studios for the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. I'm Rich Walsh. Bob Pompietti has the night off. We have a lot to talk about tonight. You just saw the highlights on the news. The Bucks blew the series against the Cardinals. What kind of impact will that have on the season? Is it too early to start to panic? Also, what impact did the latest trades have on this team? I can tell you I was impressed by what the Pirates did on Tuesday. And Clint Hurdle's decision-making this week. Plus, what is really going on with Antonio Brown? We have another all-star panel for you tonight from left to right on your screen. The Fans pre- and post-game host Chris Mack. And then in the middle, the Post-Gazette's Ron Cook. And from The Athletic, Josh Yohe. So, guys, one of the first things that I want to talk about is about the Pirates and what they did this week. I want to say, did they feel any pressure to make a move? I think there is no question they did, but the moves that they made now time will tell if it energizes team. Or the fan base. I think it did, but unfortunately it didn't take advantage of it on the field this weekend. We'll start with you, Chris. I like the moves. I think it was good for this team, especially in the future. What did you think?
Yeah, I love the additions of Archer and Kella in particular because these aren't 2-month rentals. Those weren't the kind of moves that made sense for this team. I don't want to sound like an echo chamber for the GM, but adding Chris Archer for the next 3 years, Kella for the next 2 years will help this pitching staff. As far as pressure goes, I think it's twofold. Yeah, you can't tell me for a second, especially after it was repeated many times Tuesday and Wednesday, that Bob Nutting more than was willing to help Neil Huntington make these moves, that he wanted them to go out and acquire the kind of pieces that if they felt were necessary to compete, they had to go out and get. So, yes, there was pressure on ownership to try and put some more people in the seats, and I think pressure even more so on the general manager, Neil Huntington, to improve this baseball team, to win 11 games the way they did to get themselves back into the wild card discussion. To not have added to that team, I think would have been an even bigger letdown for not just the fans, but for the guys inside that clubhouse as well. They said all the right things leading up to the deadline. Yes, we believe in the core of this roster. We believe in ourselves, the guys in this room. But to go out and get the big names that nobody expected them to get, I think helps the guys in the clubhouse as much as it helps the fans say, yeah, maybe this team's moving in the right direction.
Well, it didn't exactly show up in the gate over the weekend. They had about 8,000 less for the Cardinal series than they did for the Mets last weekend. So I never like making trades because you feel pressure to make them, to put people in the seats. The best way to put people in the seats is by winning games, and I think these trades are going to help them do that. Maybe not enough this year to get in the playoffs. It's going to be awfully difficult. They lost some ground this weekend. They lost ground today. St. Louis passed them in the wild card race. Washington passed them. They're 5 games out of a wild card spot, 4 teams to jump over. I love the deals as much for next year and beyond as now, but you make trades to help your team win, not because of the fans. At least that's my opinion.
Well, I agree that you do have to make trades to help your team win, but this season has been a PR nightmare for the Pirates. The attendance doesn't lie. It's been on a decline since that wonderful 2015 season, and it's been embarrassing this season. And I was at the game Friday night just sitting in the crowd, and it wasn't as big of a crowd as I thought it would be given that Chris Archer was making his debut. But that was a real baseball crowd. That was a crowd where people were actually interested in the product on the field. We don't always see that at PNC Park, so I think it's an important step. It was kind of a no-brainer of a deal for the Pirates, in my opinion. It can help them this year, even though I don't see them as a playoff team. It helps them for a couple of more years. They can certainly afford it. I think it's a win-win for everybody.
Ron, I know a lot of fans out there are upset that they gave up on Austin Meadows. They traded Austin Meadows away, but I kind of liked it. I thought he was blocked. I mean, what did you think about, trading probably their top prospect in the minors away?
Well, I mean, you got to give up something to get something. And again, you got these pitchers that have control. Kella has a marvelous record. He was a closer in Texas. I think, he had a scoreless inning today, struck out 2 guys. I think he's going to really help the bullpen. And I think Archer, I'm going to give him a pass on the other night. He wasn't very good. Couldn't get through the 5th inning despite getting a 6-2 lead after 3 innings. I'm going to give him a benefit of the doubt, probably a lot of emotion going through him. You have to give up somebody to get somebody. Meadows had a great first month and then cooled off. There's no guarantee he's going to be a star. I'm okay with giving him up. I think there's a better chance Glass now will turn into a star than Meadows.
Good teams are supposed to do things like this, guys. You're not supposed to keep every single prospect and hope they all develop, because they don't all develop. The best teams, and we can talk about baseball, hockey, basketball, whatever, they trade their good young players sometimes or their prospects to get even better right now. And it's a little unusual for the Pirates to do this Maybe it's a little uncomfortable for the fan base, but I also don't think there was any guarantee that Meadows was going to be a superstar. I know he had a wonderful debut those first couple of weeks, but if you go look at his minor league numbers, he wasn't lights out. He was okay. So sometimes you have to get rid of someone like this to bring in guys who can help you right now. I give Neil Huntington high marks for this, dude.
Yeah, and I think we got to give Huntington credit too, guys, for nobody wanted to see McCutchen and Cole go, but he made those deals in the offseason, and some of the pieces he got back gave him the flexibility to trade Austin Meadows because he got Brian Reynolds from San Francisco. He got Jason Martin from the Astros organization, and they've both been lighting it up in the minor leagues this year. So it gives them the ability to now say, all right, we'll buy into a year of arbitration with Corey Dickerson. It gives those guys another year to develop, be able to take over if and when Dickerson leaves. But that's got to be the move. They've got to extend Corey Dickerson or at least buy into the year of arbitration now that they've moved on from Meadows and they sort of hitched their outfield wagon, if it were, to Martin and Reynolds, because I think we've seen over the past couple of weeks Jordan Luplow probably not a future major league starter at this level.
Josh, 57 and 55, 50 games left for the team, but they dropped to 4th in the division. They're not catching the Cubs in the division. They're pretty much out of that. Now 5 games out of a wild card. Everyone says it's a marathon, not a sprint. They can make up 1 game every 10 games or something. Are you a believer in this team? Do you think there is hope that they can make the playoffs this year?
I think it's pretty unlikely, but they have a puncher's chance. They have some problems when you look at the schedule. They don't have many home games left. I think only 20 home games left. They have a ton of road games.
18 of the next 25 on the road.
Yeah, really a ton of road games coming up. The good news, however, is that they have a lot of games coming up against the teams that they have to catch. Teams like Colorado and Milwaukee, if you look at their schedule, they play those teams a ton. That's good news. You want to play those teams if you're the Pirates right now. I don't think they're a playoff team when I look at them on paper. And the fact is, when you win 11 in a row like they did, you're going to drop off a little bit. You're not going to win 9 of your next 11 after doing that, and we're seeing that right now. They have a chance. At least the games will be worth watching in the next 2 months, and that's great. But do I think they're a playoff team? No, I think they're a long shot.
They're 4-6 since that 11-game winning streak, 4-5 on this homestand. Not good enough. You split with the Mets, who are awful. I'll give them the split with the Cubs. They needed to take 2 out of 3 this weekend. 23 of their next 25 games are against teams that are either in the playoffs right now, right ahead of them in the standings, or right behind them. The only 2 is against Minnesota next week. It's a brutal schedule before Labor Day when Cincinnati gets here. It's a lot of ground to make up and 4 teams to jump. It's going to be really hard, but as Josh said, it's going to be fun to watch. I mean, they have my interest on August 5th. Let's see if they can keep it till September 5th.
Yeah, I just think they're far too inconsistent. We've seen it this year. Hot start to the season, then in the tank for 6.5, 7 weeks. Then you have the 11-game winning streak, right back into wild card contention. And as Ron just pointed out, they've lost 6 out of their last 10 since the streak ended. And they're too up and down. I think we'll continue to see that roller coaster ride over the course of the last 2 months of the season. That's what happens when you've got young pitching, both in the rotation and the bullpen. And when an offense is inconsistent, you have guys like Dickerson go down for a week and a half. Then you've got Josh Bell out of the lineup. Who knows if David Freese will be out for any length of time. Guys who were hitting the ball well, all of them, when they got hurt. If you don't have offense, you don't have starting pitching. And then the bullpen inconsistencies as well, which were a huge part of it in the month of May, then, yeah, they're going to be up and down. I think they're going to end up finishing right about where we all thought they would finish, 78, 75, 78, 80 wins maybe, but it's going to be a lot of hot and cold streaks, I think, through the rest of the season.
Well, the one thing for sure is this is the schedule you want if you want to compete for a wild card. We'll talk about that. And also Clint Hurdle's decision-making this week. A lot of people are questioning it. All that and more coming up next. And it's always exciting when an owner adds pieces to the roster to build on even better team. And right now, number 1 Cochran is assembling a surefire winner for car buyers with the purchase of Pittsburgh East Nissan and West Hills Nissan. Number 1 Cochran now has a triple threat of Nissan dealerships in Monroeville, West Hills, South Hills. Plus, they also just acquired Bob Massey Toyota in North Huntington to add another star to that team. Visit number 1 Cochran Nissan and number 1 Cochran Toyota today.
The number 1 Cochran Sports Showdown is brought to you by number 1 Cochran, Go One Better, and by Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Have a greater hand in your health.